is a dementia, or could it be something that's treatable? Because there are things that look like dementia, act like dementia, but are not dementia. One of them is depression. Another one is drug side effects. A third is hypothyroidism. Another one is a hearing problem that's undetected and unobserved. And so what happens is people are missing data and they start to look weird, and then they aren't. I can also tell you that if it is dementia, for most people, it is sort of important to know what kind of dementia, because vascular, for instance, progression pattern on vascular, very different than Alzheimer's disease. And the thing about Lewy body, another type of dementia, hallucinations are part of that, as are sleep disturbances, delusional thinking, often sexual content that's like, where did that come from? And problems with balance and coordination, which result in significant falls very early in the disease. And almost 80% of the time, it would be misidentified and mismanaged as Parkinson's. And unfortunately, when you give them drugs for Parkinson's, it makes the hallucinations worse. When you try to treat the hallucinations, it makes the mobility worse, and you can actually kill people. So if it's a classic pattern of development that looks like Alzheimer's and everything else has been checked out, that's fine. If not, it's worrisome. Because I, as a caregiver, although there's not a lot to be done different medically, there's a lot to be done differently for me as a caregiver if I know I have Alzheimer's versus I have Lewy body versus I have frontal temporal versus I have primary progressive aphasia. I mean, depending on what I have, I would put different plans in place and look for different support resources depending on which I'm dealing with, especially early in the disease. I also know early in the disease, people want to have a part in their decision making, and figuring out how to build that in so that it's not a power struggle, but it's a sharing of support requires lots of skill. And so we want to figure out how to do that while she's still able. Now, when it comes to the meds, these new things, diet, exercise, it's basically diet, exercise, and activity level, cognitive activity level, not just physical activity level. These, and protect your brain and all those things are called risk reducers. They reduce risk. They don't prevent disease, they don't change disease process, but they reduce your risk. Exercise is the only one that has actually been shown to slow progression, potentially, for certain people in certain situations. The coconut oil is a ketone phenomena, and so it does serve as a different kind of brain food. Here's what we know right now. It doesn't change the disease. It does help your brain be the best it can be for what it has going on. Because it is, for many people, a better fuel source than sugar or glucose. The bottom line is none of those things, either that or the Axonia, whatever else is out there, and there's lots of stuff on the market right now. It's getting to be a real hotbed because this is the money maker for this century, is anything to do with dementia. Those chemicals, none of those chemicals change the disease process. They simply allow your brain to be the best it can be, which is good, but you can also do that with good quality food and exercise and diet, and they still don't keep you from getting the disease, but they may give you some chance. Is that?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah. Yes, sir.
First of all, I'd like to say thank you very much for coming to visit with us.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me. It's my pleasure.
One of the statements that you made is very true. The fact is that you do make a difference yourself.
Thanks.
And we appreciate you coming to say that. I also want to say thank you to Fort Fairmont Terrace.
Indeed.
Never,
Yeah.
Never
I wouldn't be down here if it weren't for that, because that's how I got down here the first time.
Never disliked the Mill Day Gauge, so it's always wonderful. And of course, the Alzheimer's Support Network.
Absolutely. Yeah, you have a great group down here. They're making a huge difference. And then you guys for deciding to come out. 5 years ago, 10 years ago, I would have had a group. We could have been in a small little meeting room because nobody wanted to say it was happening. And the word is out.
Well, it's amazing because the question that I have is, one of the biggest things that you talked about was the visual aspect.
Yes.
And unfortunately, my mother is totally blind in
Yep.
one eye, and she has macular degeneration.
It's the worst combo.
So she has a very, very limited visual aspect. And she really uses that as an excuse not to do things.
Yeah,
And
she
of course,
does.
we run into those arguments back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
But how do I start the redirection
Yeah.
when the visual's not there
Mhm.
in being able to do something to help her to see that she can still do things?
Very good. So what That's perfect. I mean, and I would say that that's the one that is the most devastating of all senses to lose when you have dementia is your vision, because that's how people with dementia compensate. And she doesn't have it. So what she's done is shut the world down because it's too much. And so what I would do, becomes essential. Would you come up? Would you mind coming up? It'll be just easier to demonstrate up here. No, not before you get started. We'll get a chance. You're going to be your mom. Okay, and tell me what your name is.
I'm Sean.
Okay, Sean. So this is where it's critical because, Sean, now close your eyes because it's really important to understand. And this is where I'd encourage you, if you do have someone in your life who has significant visual impairment, I would suggest you put on the visual impairment they have and let people do what we tend to do without the vision. It's amazing how distressing the world becomes. And what she's doing is she's staying where she's at because that's a safety place. Anytime we move out of that place, it's scary because I don't have my visual sense and I know I don't remember and I can't understand half of what you say. So there you are. Sean, hey, it's Teepa. I thought I'd come and say, hey, how are you doing?
Hey, Teepa, how are you?
It's good seeing you. You are my favorite person.
Oh, you always say that.
I know I do. That's because it's true.
Okay.
Listen, can I have a hug?
Well, sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Oh, I love you.
Well, I love you too.
Listen, will you come help me just a minute? I need a little help from you.
Sure.
Okay, tell you what, lean forward. I'm going to help you get up. There you go. Now, we're going to go this way.
Okay.
Yeah. We're going to go over here. I tell you what, I need you to fold some towels for me. Okay, I'll show you what I mean.
Well, I can't see.
I know you can't. I want to try something, see if it works. Now, I want you to realize what I'm using to help you know where to go.
All right, it's my arm to direct.
Yeah, but it's not just your arm. What have I done?
You grabbed me to force
I've
me to
anchored
go.
you. Not
Yeah.
really.
Well, yeah, you have anchored me because you.
Yeah.
You
Because when
guided
I
me.
turn, what happens?
I follow
What does
you.
your body know?
I follow you everywhere.
Yeah, and
Sure.
if I turn this way, what does your body know?
I follow you.
Yeah. Do you feel real secure? Try this. Come with me.
Yeah,
Come
not
on.
near secure, that's
Come
for
on.
sure.
Come on. Oops. Oh, hang on.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Oh, now over this. What happens when I start guiding like this?
Yeah.
Or
lost.
like, come on. There you go. Step up.
I'm
Come on.
scared because
Step
I
up.
don't know where I'm going.
Exactly.
Okay.
This, just simply this, what a difference it makes. And then
Okay.
what I'm doing is picking things that are tactile tasks.
Okay.
Could you sort this from this by touch?
Of course.
Yeah.
Silverware.
Silverware, things like that. Listen, could you
Towels.
help me put these back in this container? Here it is.
Sure.
Now, what I'm going to do, notice, I guide you through the motion once or twice with my hand under your, okay, so we're going to fold these up. There you go.
Right.
Good. All right, yeah, go ahead and fold that one. And now Mom, lay it right here. Okay, good.
Okay.
Lay it right there. Okay, here's another one. Okay, get it out of the basket. It's right there.
Okay.
And so what I do is I guide you through the movements a couple times.
And then
You're
let me
doing
go.
great.
And
You are wonderful, Mama.
Because I do remember you told me to put it
are
there.
marvelous. Absolutely. You
Okay.
are doing a fantastic job. Thank you
Yeah.
for helping me.
Sure.
Now, notice the other piece of this. Thank you for helping me. You're doing a fantastic job. Thank you. Pause between each step. Reinforcement. Step by step. Reinforcement. Now, notice, even though you're doing something, notice what I've done here.
You're with me.
Yeah. Close your eyes.
Okay.
Yeah, you're doing it. Looks good, Mom. Looks
Where'd you
good.
go?
Looks good. I'm right here, Mom. I'll be right back.
Teepa.
Yeah, stay there. Stay there. Just a second. I'll be right back.
Yeah. And now I'm all
Yeah,
I'm
as
scared
opposed
now.
to, yeah.
Yeah. I'm
You're
scared
doing
now.
a great job.
Makes a lot of difference.
Feels real different, doesn't
Sure
it?
does.
Yeah.
Tremendous amount.
When you're missing this, then we have to rely on these two a lot. And you want to have a cologne that you always wear,
So she knows it's you.
automatic.
Sure.
Yeah, something that gives her that cue. You also want to think about things you can do with taste, because she can still do things maybe to manipulate things. So maybe she spreads the peanut butter on crackers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or she makes
Or
the
she,
devil,
she does. She mixes up the devil egg stuff. Yeah.
Sure, exactly.
And then you've got
I
to
do
be
that.
careful when that happens that you're not going, oh, you spilled some. Just leave it alone. Leave it alone.
Exactly.
Okay.
Thank you
Good
so
job.
much.
Thanks for loving her.
Appreciate it.
That's great. Absolutely. All right. Well, our time is up. I hope you had some fun, learned some stuff, and are taking away something to make a difference in the life of the people that you love and care for. Thank you for being here today. And thank you to the Alzheimer's folks and to Barrington Terrace. There you go.